Good morning, everybody. We have a mix to higher trade in the grain markets here early on Wednesday morning. It is 6:30 a.m. Central Time. March corn futures up 2 1/4 at 445 and 3/4. January soybeans up 9 cents at 1256 1/4. March Chicago wheat down 3/4 of a cent at 616 1/4. March Kansas City wheat down 1 at 578 1/4. March spring wheat down 1 at 570 and a half. That is the highest trade for any spot month corn contract since July of 2019 this morning. Also, some fresh highs in the soybean market, so really phenomenal action in the row crops. President Trump said yesterday or last night that he would not sign the new coronavirus aid package without larger direct payments to Americans. In a video that was posted all over social media, Trump said that the $600 payments were not enough and that the amount should be increased to $2,000. Trump also was very critical of the spending bill and cited all this money that's being sent overseas. Nancy Pelosi quickly replied on Twitter that the House would bring the $2,000 proposal to the floor for a vote this week and said, let's do it. So I think that they'll get this done. I don't think there should be any issue here. It's just going to be delayed a little bit. Rains will be active across Brazil in the coming days. Central and key northern growing areas should see 2 to 3 inches of rain in total between now and year's end. Southern areas of Brazil will be notably dry during this period. Now, in the extended forecast, say the 7 to 14 day period, the vast majority of Brazil and Argentina should see normal to above normal rainfall. So I'm not reading this forecast as being real threatening this morning. In fact, I'd say it probably looks favorable for crop production, if anything. Some Brazilian soybean production estimates continue to fall. There's a group that represents Brazilian grain growers. They pegged their crop at 127 million metric tons, down from 129 previously. That's about the lowest estimate I've seen floating around there. A lot of these estimates have been in that 130 to 132 range as of late. The group cited planting delays, dry weather as the reason for the cut. For reference, of course, Brazil's previous record crop, according to USDA anyways, was last year at 126. So even with this 127, which is, again, about the lowest estimate that I've seen, that's still reflective of a record crop, essentially. EIA will release weekly ethanol data later this morning. Traders expect a small increase in ethanol production versus last week, along with a small increase in ethanol stocks. The problem here for the moment is that production is outpacing demand. So we're seeing an increase in stocks. Ethanol stocks have increased, I believe, 17% from their October low, and that has resulted in poor margins. Spot margins are negative to the tune of 5 to 20 cents a gallon, I think, depending on the location. Forward margins are also poor. So essentially, we continue to lose corn demand every single week because of COVID, because of reduced driving habits. And it really doesn't look that great for the next couple of months. Forward margins are not that great. So we may see some softer ethanol production numbers. The port worker strike in Argentina extends to its 13th day today. Wage negotiations stalled again yesterday. It's being reported that more than 100 grain vessels are being delayed as a result of the strike. Since last week, no trucks have entered a big terminal at Rosario, which is responsible for 80% of the ag exports in Argentina. So this is a big deal. I mean, these strikes happen just about every year or multiple times per year. They could certainly disrupt trade flow, though, and it's something worth paying attention to. Remember, January grain options expire tomorrow. If you have any remaining open positions there, make sure you take a look. The grain markets are closed Friday, so tomorrow we've got an early close at 12:05 Central Time. Corn futures, really a phenomenal action here. When you look at the monthly corn chart, since middle of 2014, say, spot month corn futures have really been confined to a pretty tight range, $3 up to $4.64, with the vast majority of the action occurring in a much tighter range. The annual peaks in spot month corn contracts since that mid 2014 timeframe have been anywhere from 395 up to 464. So we are at nearing the extreme upper end of what we've seen over the last 6 years or so. Does that mean that the market has to stop here? No. But that 464 number, where spot month futures topped last summer, is certainly a reference point, I think. The soybean market continues to act phenomenally well. I think the market is attempting to curb demand here, and we just haven't done it yet. We still got strong crush. Exports are still pretty strong. Again, I don't think this rally has a whole lot to do with South American weather. I think it has to do with an incredibly tight, maybe even tightening U.S. supply and demand situation. USDA will be out with their January report on the 12th, and I think a lot of traders believe that that will be a friendly report and may indicate an even tighter supply and demand situation for the United States. Wheat futures reversed yesterday. We started off lower, able to shrug that off, finished the day higher. We do have some rains headed for eastern areas of the Southern Plains during the first week of January. So that's a potentially negative factor. You've got this Russian export tax, which is a potentially positive factor, could drive some additional export business here. Cattle market was lower yesterday. A lot of the contracts, a couple of them, February cattle were down more than $1, April down more than $1. Feeder cattle were also lower. Boxed beef market was mixed to higher yesterday, and we really haven't seen much in terms of cash cattle yet this week. Ahead of the cash open, the Dow is up 50 points, S&P's up 6. We've got the U.S. dollar just a little bit lower. Crude oil's up about 6 cents, and the February WTI 47.08. Precious metals are a little bit lower. If you'd like some more information, visit my website, www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan. If you would like to know how I'm marketing grain, corn, soybeans, and wheat every day of the week, broken down by crop year and percentage, check out that subscription service. It's $49 a month. You can cancel it at any time. It's billed to your credit card. No other fee, no other obligation, nothing like that. Everyone have a wonderful day. I will